Hi friends! So I have two skeins of yarn here that I wanted to dye for such a long time because this is just white or like off-white. I think it's just undyed, like natural, that I have a lot, like I have a lot of white, so I thought maybe I would try coloring this to see how it turns out. And then I have this yarn, which is the one that I used for this hat. I have only one left and I'm not going to do anything with it because this color as like alone, I don't really like it. Like, I don't like minty green. And it's nothing personal. It's not like I don't like it. Okay, it's complicated because minty green reminds me so much of 2010 to 15 because everyone was so obsessed with this color and I had everything mint green. I had my phone case mint green, fish, skateboard. I had it mint green because I was so obsessed with this color. I think I had too much of it in my life, so I wanted to try something new. And also I really like the look of dyed yarn at home, homemade dyed yarn. Yes, so I was looking at some dyes online and how to even do that because I never dyed yarn before. The dyes were so expensive and also you have to like use a pot that you don't use normally for cooking. We barely have a pot in this kitchen because I live in a dorm. We barely have anything. We don't have a single pot that I can ruin for dyeing yarn. Like, I also didn't want to buy a whole bottle of yarn just to dye this little amount of yarn. Also, it was like around Easter time when I first had the idea to dye the yarn, and I remembered that my grandparents every year for Easter they dye eggs with onion skins. I just want to steal this idea to see if you can dye yarn with onion skins. Spoiler, you can. I know it because I checked it online just to see, just to prevent this whole video being disaster. Also, natural, it's great, like you don't produce toxins to the environment. That's another good thing about dyeing your yarn naturally, besides the money. So, one problem is solved, but another problem occurred. I don't eat onions. But I had an idea to ask people if they can donate me some onion skins. I wrote, "Hey, so I need a lot of onion skins for dyeing, but I don't eat onions. Could you put your onion skins in this blue box when you peel it off? It doesn't matter what kind of onion you have, thank you." And this morning I went to check how many onion skins I have, and I have to say that they delivered. The white onion skins can give any color from yellow to orange, and the red one can give anything from green to brown. Depends on how much onion skins you use, the more saturated the color will be. Guys, I have to show you something. I bought a pot. Am I getting older? Because I'm so excited about buying a pot. I had one pot which is like half the size of this, so I thought maybe that won't be place for the yarn to like soak in. So what we need to do right now, pour some water into this pot and then soak the onion skins overnight. Yeah, there was a party yesterday. So I've decided I want to use a mix of those. Like, I want to use the white ones and the red ones as well to see what color it can give. There's some moldy ones because it's been sitting here for a month. I will throw out the moldy ones. Well, I'm a little scared that this is too much water, but I think I'm just gonna go with this. Alright, I will let it sit here for the rest of the day and for the night. I don't know if you can see it, but the water is becoming like yellowish, so that's a good sign. And for the yarn, we need to prepare it for dyeing. We need to unravel it, like it can't be like in a ball shape. Okay, so we need to make a circle out of this. Yeah, by the way, I think I didn't mention, but for this to work, you need to have natural fibers. I'm not sure if cotton works, but I'm guessing it will work. I think they need to be from an animal, if I'm not mistaken. I will research this and I'll let you know. Okay, I'm sorry guys, you need to see this, my feet, but I really didn't have a better idea. But hey, at least my socks are clean. It's a good workout, by the way. And I did my abs at the gym, and kind of them sitting like this in this position, it kind of hurts. Good that I shaved my legs, because I really didn't expect doing this today. So how are you guys doing up there? Are you comfy? This is the worst idea I've ever had. I've had worse ideas, but don't try this. It hurts my calves. It's finished. It's so nice. It looks like ramen noodles. Okay, for the second skein of yarn, I think I need a different approach. Okay, so I came up with this. It definitely doesn't hurt. I still have this amount of yarn. I also had an idea of using a door handle and my hand. This is inspired by sailing camps. When you park the boat, you have to use a rope for the boat, right? Because when you throw the rope on the shore, it's very important that the rope is not tangled, because if it is, then the person who you're throwing the rope to won't catch the rope. Well, I know that nobody asked, but this is my channel and I can bombard you with useless information for you whenever I want. We still have this amount of yarn left. It looks the same, right? But it's actually not, because when I do this, it's flat. Okay guys, we have it. We have whatever it is, 2 skeins of ramen noodles. However, they are not ready for cooking, because if I just put it like this, it will get tangled. So now we just need a little bit of scrap yarn, which is fortunately something I will never run out of. So to do that, you just need to like tie them in this kind of infinity sign, split it in half. And then make a knot like that. And it's very important for it to be loose so the yarn dies evenly. Hi friends! This is another day, and yesterday my boyfriend came to my room and I wanted to show him what I made, why I have a pot next to my window. And I opened the lid and it smelled so bad. I think it has to do something with the fact that it stands near the window, so it was in the sun. So I don't dare to open this in my room again. I'm going straight to the kitchen. It stinks just a little. It isn't as bad as I thought it would be. The solution looks like this. I think it has a really good color. I think it would be even more saturated when I boil it, because we need to make it boil. And in the meantime, while it is boiling, we need to soak the yarn in water. It somehow absorbs the dye better. I don't really know how to explain it. If you want to know more in depth of this process, I will link an article that I'm using. You will find all the information there. And the water has to be warm. Also, as you know, I am using my pot that I bought not for dyeing, but for cooking. And apparently when you're dyeing yarn or anything, you need to have a different pot that you won't use for cooking food. And I was curious why is that so, but apparently If you don't use a mordant while dyeing, you don't need to have a different pot for dyeing. And a mordant is basically a substance that you use to enhance the color. I'm just learning as I go. This is my first time doing this. If you would like to do the same thing as me and use a mordant, then you would have to be careful. And after I put the yarn inside the pot, I want to leave it overnight. But I will leave it overnight just to be sure and just to see how much color I can get out of this amount of onion skins. Okay guys, it's been boiling for an hour. And I'm turning it off. I think it became a little bit more brown. If you want your yarn to be dyed evenly without any like miscolorations or anything like that, you need to filter the dye stuff. But I actually really want to see if it will have like any blotches of color. It's important that you don't put yarn into boiling water because that might damage the yarn. I am really curious how the minty one is going to turn out. I hope it's not ugly. Well, so far it's more like yellowish green. So this is the next day. It's early in the morning and I am so excited to see how the yarn is going to turn out, how saturated the color is. I have gloves. Gloves are really important because you can dye your skin. Okay, so this is how the color looks like right now. This is the white wool and this was the minty. So now we just have to rinse the yarn until the water runs clear. So this is how the white yarn turned out. I don't know how it's going to look like on the camera, but it's like dirty pink. And when it completely dries, it will be a little bit lighter than this. And the other is basically the same shade, but a little bit towards green. It's been a couple of days and the yarn is now fully dried. And it looks like this. This was the white yarn and this was the mint yarn. So they got lighter. It's really hard to describe those colors because, as I said, when you leave the dye stuff in the pot, they will become colorful, whatever. So it has, I think it is hard to see it on camera, but in some spots it's more pink and in some spots it's more yellow. So overall, I am satisfied with the result. It was really fun. This one, to be honest, I think the color came out a little ugly, at least in my opinion. It's like if it had a little bit more saturation, like olive green, it would be so beautiful. I'm not really sure how it's going to look like for you because I edit the video and I will add more saturation to it. I will include a photo that is not edited whatsoever in this video right now, so you can see how it looks like for me, like in my eyes. I'm going to make them a ball but later because I don't have this rolling thingy for yarn and I think I would need a little bit more time to do this than right now. Like I really have better stuff to do, like my thesis project, because I'm finishing my program at school. I will probably do that later in the evening or no, because I have work. I don't know. In the weekend I will probably like be watching some H2O or any other show and I will just be. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the yarn and if you have any tips, please share. I was prepared, but maybe there is another way to make it less ugly. I don't know, maybe the problem was that I was dyeing the mint yarn, and you should dye an undyed yarn, but I wish it was like more saturated. Maybe the mordant is the solution here. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. So if you liked the video, you can leave a like, subscribe to see more, and if you want to, you can check out my Instagram. See you in the next video. Bye!